Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday English Every Time. I'm Elena, and today I want to talk to you about something very honest. Nobody told you this about learning English. When you first started learning, maybe you thought, if I memorize enough grammar, I'll become fluent. If I learn 1,000 new words, I'll speak confidently. If I watch English videos daily, I'll automatically improve. But then reality happened. You studied, you watched, you memorized. And still, when someone said, "Can you speak in English?" your heart started beating faster, your mind went blank, and suddenly, all your English disappeared. Let me tell you something important. The problem is not your intelligence. The problem is not your memory. The problem is not your accent. The problem is that nobody told you the real truth about how language confidence is built. And once you understand these truths, your approach to learning English will completely change. The first thing nobody tells you is this. Understanding English is not the same as speaking English. You can understand movies. You can understand YouTube videos. You can understand your teacher. But speaking is a different skill. It's like watching people swim versus actually jumping into the water. Watching helps, but it doesn't train your muscles. Speaking trains your language muscles. If you don't use them, they stay weak. Many learners spend years only consuming English, but not producing it. They listen, they read, but they don't speak. And then they wonder why their speaking is slow. You don't learn to speak by only listening. You learn to speak by speaking, even if your sentences are broken. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, even if you feel shy. The second truth nobody tells you is this. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are proof of progress. If you are silent, you make 0 mistakes. But you also make 0 improvement. Every fluent speaker today once made thousands of mistakes. The only difference is they didn't stop because of those mistakes. Many learners wait to become perfect before speaking, but perfection comes after practice, not before it. If you speak and someone corrects you, that's not embarrassing. That's valuable. Corrections are feedback. Feedback builds improvement. Improvement builds confidence. Now here's another truth that might surprise you. Confidence doesn't come from knowing more English. Confidence comes from using the English you already know. You probably know more English than you think. You know how to say, "I'm tired. I'm busy. I don't understand. I agree. I think so." These are powerful sentences, but many learners think these are too simple. They want advanced vocabulary, fancy expressions, complex grammar. But real conversations are built on simple sentences used naturally. Native speakers don't use difficult words all the time. They use simple language smoothly. Fluency is not about complexity. It's about comfort. Now let me tell you something very honest. Sometimes the biggest reason you don't improve is fear. Fear of being judged, fear of sounding funny, fear of wrong pronunciation. But here's the truth. Most people are too busy thinking about themselves to judge your English. And even if someone laughs or corrects you, what's the worst that can happen? You learn something new. Growth always feels uncomfortable at first. If you feel nervous while speaking, it doesn't mean you are bad at English. It means you are growing. Another thing nobody tells you is this. Consistency is more powerful than motivation. You might feel motivated today. You might promise yourself, "From tomorrow, I will practice daily." But motivation comes and goes. Consistency stays. Even if you practice only 10 or 15 minutes a day, but you do it every single day, your progress will be stronger than someone who studies 3 hours once a week. English is not a subject. It's a skill. And skills grow through repetition. If you say one sentence daily like, "Today was a busy day," and you expand it little by little. "Today was a busy day because I had many meetings." "Today was a busy day and I felt tired by evening." You are building speaking strength slowly, but steadily. Now here's something very important that most teachers don't say clearly. You don't need perfect grammar to communicate. Yes, grammar is important, but grammar should support your speaking, not stop it. If you wait to master all tenses before speaking, you will delay your confidence. Use simple present. Use past tense. Use basic future forms. That's enough to express most daily ideas. Another hidden truth is this: you improve faster when English becomes part of your life, not just a study time activity. If English only exists in your notebook, it will stay there. But if you start thinking small thoughts in English like, what should I eat? I need to finish this work. I'm feeling sleepy. You are training your brain to operate in English naturally. You don't need a classroom for this. You need awareness. Now here's something nobody told you clearly. You will never feel 100% ready. There is no magical day when you suddenly feel perfect. Confidence is built while feeling unready. If you keep waiting to feel fully prepared, you'll keep delaying your growth. Real progress starts when you speak, even though your voice shakes a little, even though you're unsure about one or two words, even though you think your accent isn't perfect. And let me say something clearly about accent. Your goal is clarity, not a foreign accent. You don't need to sound British. You don't need to sound American. You need to sound understandable. If people understand you clearly, your job is done. Many learners waste years trying to change their accent instead of improving their confidence. Pronunciation matters, but perfection is not required. Clear communication is. You will feel awkward before you feel confident. That awkward phase is not a sign that you're bad. It's a sign that you're practicing something new. At first, you consciously think about grammar and vocabulary. Later, it becomes automatic, but only if you continue. Comparing your English with someone else's English can destroy your motivation. Maybe your friend speaks more fluently. Maybe someone online sounds perfect, but you don't know their journey. Instead, compare yourself with your past self. Can you speak more now than 6 months ago? Can you understand more than last year? If yes, you are progressing. Fluency is not about speaking fast. Fluency is about speaking smoothly, comfortably, and clearly. You can speak slowly and still sound confident. In fact, speaking slightly slower often makes you sound more natural. Learning English is not just about language, it's about identity. When you speak in English, you might feel like a different version of yourself. That's normal. You are building a new communication personality. The more you use English, the more natural that version becomes. Stop saying, I am learning English. Start saying, I am building my English. Learning sounds temporary. Building sounds long-term. There will be days when you feel confident. There will be days when you feel like you forgot everything. Both are normal. Language growth is not a straight line, but if you stay consistent, the overall direction is always upward. If you really want faster improvement, focus on 3 daily habits. Speak a little every day. Think small thoughts in English. Listen actively, not passively. When you listen actively, notice sentence structure, notice expressions, notice how ideas are connected. Then try to use those patterns in your own speech. That's how fluency grows naturally. Not by memorizing long vocabulary lists, not by waiting for confidence, but by daily usage. And here is the biggest truth of all. You are much closer to fluency than you think. The gap between where you are and where you want to be feels big in your mind, but in reality, it's built from small daily improvements. If you can already form basic sentences, if you can already understand simple conversations, if you can already express your ideas slowly, you are not a beginner anymore. You are in progress, and progress is powerful, so stop underestimating yourself. Stop saying, my English is bad. Instead say, my English is improving. Fluency is not a destination you suddenly reach. It's a process you live daily. If you stay consistent, speak regularly, accept mistakes, and stop waiting to feel perfect, your English will grow. Not suddenly, not magically, but steadily. And steady growth is the strongest kind of growth. Thank you for being here with me on Everyday English Every Time. Keep practicing. Keep believing in your progress, and most importantly, Keep speaking.